Everybody stand, everybody wave your hands. We the seventh man Empire fans. Say it loudly, say it proudly. Empire what? Empire. Everybody stand, everybody clap. We the seventh man Empire fans. Say it loudly, say it proudly. Empire what? Empire. Everybody stand, everybody wave your hands. We the seventh man Empire.
All right, enough of that, guys. What is up, Empire? It is good to finally be back. It has been far too long since we have been here in front of all of you. We are in a brand new year. Can you believe that? Oh my goodness. We're going to get into that in just a minute. But first, welcome to Striking Fury, your favorite podcast for the Empire Strikers. I am your host, Amanda, the Panda Philemon, and of course, I am joined today by none other than Christian Philly. Philemon, what is going on?
Not just their favorite Empire Strikers podcast, the official podcast for the Empire Strikers. That's right, Empire Armada. We're bringing in a new year, 2024, and it's the start of a whole new season. That's my glass half full perspective. It's the start of a whole new season. What happened in 2023 is all gone. Can't look in that rear view mirror anymore. As the saying goes, the windshield is bigger than the rear view for a reason. And we're going to talk about, well, we have to talk about one game that happened in 2023, but then we're going to talk about what's ahead of us in a lot of ways. But before we could do that, you know, we're a duo here, but typically we come in threes. So bring in the doctor.
Yes, we do. We need somebody here who can help remedy this situation that we have in front of us, and none other than the doctor himself. Jonathan Reimer, what is going on? How are you doing today?
Good evening, Messrs. Panda and Philly. It is a pleasure to be with you, and thank you to all the lovely fans throughout the world who are joining in with us live, and of course to everyone listening, podcast, SoundCloud, Stitcher, wherever the heck you are listening to us. Thank you for doing so. Action-packed show. We got a huge rundown. It's like 15 pages long. We're going to be with you for like 4 hours tonight, so let's go.
God, no, we are not. I am way too hungry. It's been way too long of a day, but we are going to package this up all very nicely. But first, before we get into it, you know, we always like to banter a little. And I just want to know, what did you do for your new year, Reimer?
What did I do for New Year's Eve? I got off work at 7. As I got off work, I ordered the food so that it would be there roughly by the time I got home. I had dinner at about 8 and I was in bed by 8:30. I did set an alarm for 3 minutes before midnight. I got up. I sent a text message to the missus who was out of town. I was home alone. Everybody in the house was out. I was home alone. I was exhausted. The holidays absolutely kills me. I'm still feeling it. No time off, working double shifts. It was crazy. And I went to sleep. I got up. I was awake for about 5 minutes. Put on a fantastic fire show. Compliments of the residents of the San Fernando Valley, which was arguably one of the best fireworks displays one could possibly see. It was lovely, and I didn't have to leave my backyard to do it. My neighbor and I sat here and enjoyed a fireworks show, and I went back to sleep. And that was my New Year's Eve. It was lovely.
It sounds exhausting for some reason. It seemed like a lot that was going on. Ours was much simpler, I think.
Ours or yours?
Mine was very simple.
You had a far different New Year's than I did.
I did.
A far different one.
We did. I mean, I'm sorry. You weren't drinking on New Year's Eve until we got home. So he let me No, he let me. Okay. So we did something different for New Year's this year. We went to brunch. We went to a noon brunch downtown where we had all you can eat and all you can drink. It was actually pretty fantastic. And I did drink all that I could and got home and fell asleep at like 7:00. And I woke up at like, I don't know, 12:45. I missed New Year. I'm not going to lie.
It was me and the Gremlins that brought in the New Year together. After 12:01 hit, after the replay of the ball drop in New York City happened again, I found myself on the couch watching Peacock, the station, and watching episodes of Young Rock. That's how I brought in the New Year, because I was eagerly anticipating Sleepy McPandas over here to wake up and celebrate the New Year with me. So it was just me and the Gremlins. But she did wake up at 1:45. So that kept us going for another hour, and that was all she wrote.
I love how you had to qualify that when watching Peacock was a streaming service. Like you're sitting there in your living room just staring at an exotic bird for hours on end.
I mean,
think
look,
people
I've
knew what
done
you
weirder
meant.
things than that.
I can confirm, but it was kind of nice because what he did is he decided not to drink at brunch so that I could have a good time and he could be my designated driver. But that kind of segues me into something that I kind of want to talk about. And that is public transportation and how amazing it is. And well, guess what? We have a new sponsor, you guys. And yes, all the applause. Everybody, I want you to welcome to the Striking Fury family, the one, the only Omnitrans. Yay! Now, this is exciting for me because of one thing I just mentioned, having a way to get around and, being able to maybe have a drink or something. And you get that with Omnitrans. They are, like we said, they are the proud sponsor of Striking Fury, and they can be your ride to the Strikers games and everywhere else that you would like to go in San Bernardino County. Now, they do something really cool. They also offer free rides for students at local schools, and they are currently supporting the next generation of soccer athletes, and they are getting them to school, practice, and games for free. So visit omnitrans.org for more information and to plan your next ride. They also have an app, so download that and get on the public transportation game because, this New Yorker right here knows how exciting it is to be able to not have to drive anywhere because he hates driving.
I hate driving with a passion, and I live in the worst possible place for it. So if there's any accessibility with public transportation, I'm going to take it because I don't like to be in traffic. I don't like to pay attention to anything else other than my own thoughts. And thank you, Omnitrans, for being a proud sponsor of Striking Fury. We greatly appreciate you. Y'all gonna hear us mention their name on a couple of occasions. And thank you yet again for being part of the family.
Now, speaking of supporting the next generation of soccer athletes, we do have some stuff we want to cover in the soccer realm. Let's talk a little bit about some of the youth clinics that are going on. Billy, would you like to let the people out there know what's happening?
Yeah, big shout out real quick in the chat to Q Cardi, much love, and obviously to the one and only Brad. Brad, thank you so much for joining us. It's kind of cool seeing people in this, and it'd be a lot cooler if we can maintain some consistency so we could actually build the show.
Well, blame the holidays for that. That kind of threw us off, but we will get back on track just like our season of the Strikers are having. We will get back on track as well.
Yeah, absolutely. For those that are obviously in the Inland Empire, President's Day, there's going to be a youth clinic meaning from ages 6 to 14. So if you're 15 or 43, you can't participate. So join the Empire Strikers on our annual President's Day Youth Clinic, Monday, February the 19th. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced player aged 6 to 14, all skill levels are welcome. Immerse yourself in the world of soccer. Develop your ball control, passing, shooting, and conditioning abilities like a pro and with pros. The experienced coaches on staff, consisting of current and former members of the Empire Strikers, will guide you every step of the way, helping you gain confidence, learning the value of teamwork, and cultivating important qualities like character and, more importantly, discipline. So don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. It's $40 for the one-day clinic, and all you got to do is go to theempirestrikers.com. You'll see there's a register today option or in there. If not, you could also call the office 909-457-0252 for more information and obviously to get your kids age 6 to 14 registered. This is going to be a great thing. And I love seeing what happens at these camps. Always well attended. So check that out if you're looking for your kids to do something on President's Day.
Now, one other thing that I want to talk about that's happening in the community, and this is going to be actually next week, a couple really exciting things that we're all going to hopefully be a part of. I don't know. I'll bring it up in just a second, but it is the Coaches Convention that's happening in Anaheim, a really exciting event where, well, I don't know. I guess you've already been talking. I guess you should probably keep talking about this.
I talk. That's what they pay me to
Reimer,
do.
Doctor, stand there. I've got something for you in just a moment, okay?
Hey, I kind of like this hosting gig of hers. This is fine. It gives me the opportunity to keep talking. Yeah, that's right. In Anaheim, starting next Wednesday to Sunday, there will be the United Soccer Coaches Convention. I got to attend it in Kansas City. It was a tremendous event where you can meet up with people from all parts of the coaching world, from Eintracht Frankfurt down to your U levels at schools in Toledo, Ohio. It's a huge thing, and we're here to promote it as well. Don't miss, and I'm going to read this, don't miss your chance to join the most eagerly awaited soccer coaching event of the year. You could get a special discount. Fury24 is the discount for it during your registration. Now, the United Soccer Coaches Convention is an engaging 5-day gathering of the soccer coaching community featuring live full-field demonstrations and enriching educational sessions. Upon thousands of other coaches in an event that's become a yearly event will be in attendance. Connect with some of soccer's elite. And I mean that, elite, including the likes of Javier Zanetti of Inter Milan, Laura Harvey of the OL Reign, Jermaine Jones, yes, the Jermaine Jones representing Fuego FC, Leonard Griffin of Cal Men's Soccer, Carla Thompson from the San Diego Wave. And I got to give a shout out to head coach Yeagley from Indiana University's men's soccer, my alma mater. He's going to be there as well. Like I said, I was there in Kansas City, got to meet the likes of Jay Demerit and a whole bunch of other awesome people along those lines. Alexei Lalas is going to be there. Whether you like him or not, he's still going to be there. And we are all going to be on Media Row there with our podcast, chatting with everybody, meeting people, interviewing people, and hanging out. So if you're looking to elevate your coaching expertise, join the Advanced National Diploma course when you register to refine, and you are moving and messing with my script, your skills and enhance your coaching profile. Again, secure your spot, United Soccer Coaches Convention. Google it up. The discount code Fury24 will get you in. And we're going to allude to one other thing in regards to a certain MASL event involving all of us momentarily, but check out United Soccer Coaches Convention. It's a ton of fun. I have firsthand experience. I love it. I'm psyched to be there in Anaheim with the likes of all of y'all.
At the Anaheim Convention Center, legendary Expo Convention Center. It's a fun spot. It's going to be a really cool day.
I've never been.
It's right around the corner from Angel Stadium. It's a really cool spot.
Cool.
Massive venue. You guys are going to have a blast. I really hope we get a lot of people to come out. And of course, there's going to be a game. We know this. Some futsal is happening between the Empire Strikers and the San Diego Sockers. No boards. Futsal. It's an interesting development, my friends.
Yes, I know. And that game is going to happen on, I believe, Thursday? Is it the 12th?
It's Thursday.
Or 11th.
Thursday, whatever.
What's the dates?
I think it's the 11th.
9, 10. Yes, Thursday the 11th. It is going to be going on. And are we still waiting to hear about the broadcasting and what's going on with that?
So we've been told that there's going to be a broadcast. And since we're the home team, we'll be broadcasting it. Still waiting for the details on that. But if you're in the area, you can actually pick up a ticket. So tickets are on sale via either the San Diego Sockers or the Empire Strikers for $25. The cost of that gets you admission into the coaching convention, and you could wander around and check out some of the stuff that's going on. The game will kick off at 5 p.m. And as the doctor alluded to, no boards. It'll be futsal. So it'll be fast and intense without the boards. And it's an exhibition game between two teams that know each other very well. So get out and see the Strikers. Get out and see the San Diego Sockers, and it'll be fun. It's going to be very well attended. There's going to be thousands of coaches anyway in attendance. So make sure you can get in there. There's only going to be 75 tickets distributed by both Empire and San Diego. There's so many people registered for this convention already that they can only allocate 150 tickets. So if you're interested, make sure you get on that. $25 gets you in the door and a day at the convention. And then we'll keep you up to date with the broadcast should that happen. I'm assuming it will, but more info on that to come.
I mean, I think if you're an Orange County indoor fan, what a perfect opportunity to go out and see some of your favorite indoor players. Whether you're a fan of that team that plays in one county south of you, or if you're a fan of that team that plays in one county northeast of you, it would still be great to see that arena packed with people. And I'm sure for the OC and everyone behind the orange curtain, it's a great opportunity to get out to a historic venue and catch what should be a wild game.
No doubt. I'm looking forward to it. It's my first time going to anything like this. And we are going to be set up as Angel City Chicks as well. So me and Nina will be there. And then you'll be there also set up as Defenders of the Bank. And we will have Striking Fury as well. It's going to be well branded. We're already working on everything. So if you're in the area and you're able to come on out, we'd love to see you stop by and say hi. But enough about all this local stuff that's happening that people out there listening that can't make it to it. I know we have fans all over the US from all the other teams. So let's talk about some more exciting news. I want to get into new signings because we've been on fire with some of these signings lately. I mean, we talked about Marco Fabian on the last one, and we will talk about him a little more and how he has come through. And spoiler alert, we'll have something a little later in this podcast that I want to talk a little bit about as far as a blockbuster signing as well that is going to pair up so nicely with one Marco Fabian. But sandwiched in the middle there, we have a new signing that was able to be featured in this game against Tacoma that we're going to get into. The doctor himself would love to hear your thoughts on this.
So Strikers have signed Harold Hansen. This is a player that if you're in the Pacific Northwest might be familiar. For 4 years in the Portland Timbers organization. He featured at MLS level, also played in the US Open Cup as well too for Timbers. During that COVID season when there was no minor league for MLS, that all disbanded, he came back to California, has been playing in NISA and USL ever since then. This is a player that goes all the way back to the FC Golden State days with Jimmy Nordberg in his U17 career. So this is someone like a Bryce Watson that has grown in the Inland Empire system, coached by Jimmy Nordberg, and now his career comes full circle. That is such a sick Iron Maiden shirt too, by the way. I have that exact same shirt. It's probably my favorite shirt I own. It's phenomenal, Philly.
Nice
I was going to compliment you on the beginning, and then it took 5 minutes before I showed up on the pod, and I forgot.
I know you had to get all the thoughts that you were thinking during his 10-minute intro out now.
Councilman Carlos A. Garcia.
Yeah.
Brilliant call out.
The honorable.
The honorable.
Right?
Thank you. Excuse me. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Harold Hansen has played numerous positions. So this is a player with versatility that can come in, attack, mid, defense, and really be a big help to this Empire Strikers team. And I think it's already paying dividends already. But any thoughts on the player before we get into the game in which he featured?
Yeah, so obviously this is his first opportunity playing indoors. He never really had too much of a chance to get himself acclimated with the team. And he was instantly thrown out into the ocean with the sharks that came in from the Pacific Northwest of Tacoma. And quite honestly, I think he handled himself really well, all things considered, this being his first time. Now, there's so many people out there that think, you could easily transition from the outdoor to indoor. It's a completely different game. It's a completely different speed. And I would think that he adjusted to it relatively quickly. Just needs to get a little bit more time. Obviously, the ball is a little different. I mean, he hit some bangers that went just above the netting. But between him and Mijatovic being up there in that target forward position, he's a big body. He's a strong kid. It's going to be hard for some of these little defenders to stop him. He's just such a big, athletic young man. And you said it. He played with the Portland Timbers organization, featured in a couple of U.S. Open Cup games. Jimmy Nordberg knows him real well and has spoke very highly of him. So I think the future is bright for Harold Hansen. And I think he had a really strong debut.
I definitely agree. I mean, you use the word big. I mean, he's big not only with like his accolades and where he's come from, but big in stature. And if I'm not wrong, he was the one who kicked the ball that I believe was that the one that created the little bit of the black eye situation?
I know the play you're talking about. I don't recall if that was him, but I can tell you from experience, he has a handshake that could crush a diamond.
I thought it was him, and he must have a left boot that could, I don't know, kick a ball through a brick wall. But we'll talk about that in a little bit because I do want to go ahead and get into this game because, well, it was our second game at home at this point, and we really went into it needing a really big home win. What do you guys? Let's go into it. We fell 7-5. I don't want to spoil it. I think you guys already know how this all played out, but I'm gonna let you guys re-highlight it because, well, you guys are the ones that do it the first time so well. So let's do it again.
So Tacoma took an early 2-goal lead, and I mean early, 31 seconds into the game when Juice Cox, I mean, you and I had barely gotten a chance to say, hello, how are you? And boom, there's a goal in the back. Very reminiscent of our first ever broadcast, which was, hello, how are you? There's a goal. 31 seconds. I mean.
You guys need T-shirts.
Say what you want about Philly and I. We need more than 31 seconds to get it going. And Juice Cox did not. 31 seconds into the game, they already found the back of the net. Thanks to Canale, they doubled up. I love that I can actually hear it this show. We're getting so much better at this. Panda, you're amazing at producing this. I just want to say shouts to Panda. Everybody give it up for Panda.
I set this all up, you guys. So, that's why it's working. So thank you. Appreciate it.
So we get out of the first quarter. We're down 2-0. Second quarter was a lot of fun for the Empire Strikers. We scored 3 unanswered back to back to back. It was great. We took ourselves a lead. We were at home. Things were feeling good. We had Abdul Mansoure finding the back of the net and a brace from forward Stefan Mijatovic, which little stroke of brilliance from the coaching tree there to come up with that idea to throw him up front. All some decisions that were made last year to shuffle players around as well too. I think Mo NDI going from forward to defense was a big help last year. Could Mijatovic going up front be a big help to the offense this year? Even just as a stopgap solution, that was kind of a fun thing. And, we go into halftime, the game's knotted up. I think everybody was feeling Tacoma got one there at the end that kind of deflated it a little. But coming into halftime, 3-3 at home, we've been moving the ball particularly good at moments throughout the first, just a couple little mistakes here and there. We had a few big defensive stops, a few fantastic saves as well, too, to go in there. We were feeling pretty good coming out of the half. And unfortunately, Tacoma came out feeling a little bit better. They knocked the first 3 goals in to come out of the half. And despite some bangers from Adam James and Marco Fabian, it just wasn't enough for the Strikers to mount the comeback, and they end up losing the game 7-5.
The unfortunate thing is they were playing very well, and it's kind of been a theme where the third quarter, there's somewhat of an implosion. Tacoma took advantage of the rookies and the younger players. And Alessandro Canali, who is a veteran of this game and a veteran of this league, had himself the 2 goals, and then Kyle Rivers put one in as well to help propel this team in a positive light. But at that point, we were seeing a lot of really good things from the Strikers. A team that only averages a little over 3 goals per game put up a fair amount of shots. When we go over the final game stats, I was rather impressed with the way they performed. I was also really impressed with something that Stefan Mijatovic said. I'm going to allude to that momentarily, but he did get moved up front, a position he is not necessarily unfamiliar with. He was a target forward. He played in that position momentarily in spurts at Utica, did that obviously for the St. Louis Ambush. And so he wants to be that spark plug to ignite the team in whatever way he can. He's one of the leaders in the league for blocked shots. That's how we rate defenders in MASL. He's one of the leaders there. And he's also one of the leaders now on our team in terms of scoring goals. Had a couple really beautiful Wallace scores in that game against Tacoma. But, third quarter implosion has been a theme for this team. Going into the locker room with some positivity, but then it's you got to get over that third quarter hump, but they did not give up despite being down. I will credit the Strikers. They continued to press and play as aggressively as they could.
Listen, like you said it, that third quarter, in just, I think, 1 minute and 7 seconds, they doubled their lead over the Strikers. I mean, that 3 goals right there in such a quick succession. And that's something that could deflate any team. That could definitely take the wind out of a lot of sails that are out there. And for them to fight back and to make this game as close as it was, I think that says a lot about this team. They do have that fight in them. They just, there's some finessing that really needs to happen with them. And I think a lot of that is, I mean, we say it time and time again, and I don't want to, sound like a broken record. But, this team just needs time. We keep adding pieces to this team, and that just means that's just going to extend the time that I think this team is going to have to really come to full fruition with what they can really do. I don't think we've seen the best that this Strikers team can be by far. And again, that was just a little glimmer of hope. I mean, we saw a little bit of what was a little bit of a downfall with that 3-goal succession that happened. We cannot let that happen. This team right now cannot afford to fall behind like that. And unfortunately, it would be their detriment, and they would lose this game 7-5, making it, unfortunately, their second loss at home, which we really cannot afford to be losing games at home. I think we need to be a team that people are afraid to come into our house and play. And right now, we're just not that team.
It's going to take some time for the pieces to come together. I mean, you look at the back press goal on Cisse where he's alone against the boards, getting double teamed, and no one comes back to help him out there, and they score a goal. There were a couple times we allowed an offensive player to creep in behind our defense and get behind, and we were just unaware that we had a man behind us. They had some tricky line changes that, caught us sleeping. We've had quick restart goals scored against us this year. We've had bad entry passes that get picked off and ran back the other direction. These are just simple indoor philosophies that these players will pick up in time. The question is, how much sand is going to go through that hourglass before it runs out on this season and there's no time to make it up?
Yeah, no doubt. There's a lot of things to think about. You have some thoughts on this, I suppose?
The time, the gap, the window to get in the playoffs is getting smaller and smaller. If you recall, last year we lost our first 4 games of the season, and then we went off on a tear and made an argument as to why we should be in the playoffs before we unfortunately imploded with a half a dozen or so games left of the season. And that was with a very experienced team, with a 4-time league MVP in that of Frank Tayu, with the likes of Uzi Tayu, with the likes of so many players that are no longer part of this team. So yes, it's going to take a little while for this team to gel. We keep adding new pieces to it, but obviously the gap is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. One goal that I do want to mention from Tacoma that I don't necessarily mind is that in Willie Spur. I had to give Willie a shout out because he got his leg broken as a member of the Ontario Fury in that horrible collision 2 seasons ago against Boris Pardo that obviously put an abrupt ending to his tenure here in the Inland Empire. But to see him back on the turf, to see him scoring, I can't say I was any upset at that. To break a leg and to come back in the manner that he did was quite impressive. And I got nothing but love for Willie Spur. And quite honestly, I got nothing but love for the Tacoma Stars. They beat us. It was experience handling youth. But Steph said something at the end which really registered with me. And he believes, and I think this is starting to change the narrative of this team, is that they believe in themselves and they believe that they can hang with any team. They also believe that they're the ones beating themselves. So that is a huge narrative change from what the uncertainty was in the very beginning of the season. I'm pretty sure they're going to turn around and start to surprise some teams with some W's. So keep your eye on it. I'm feeling pretty good. They ended up 29 to 27 shots on Tacoma. Pretty good. And they ended up putting 5 goals where they haven't really been able to do that all season. So ever so slight improvements, trending in the right direction. I'll say that much.
I thought Hansen's debut was sensational in this game for a guy playing his first ever indoor game. He was he was lively. I mean, yes, a few of those shots got up into the netting, but it's his first game. The progression of Marco Fabian, him being used on multiple lines at multiple times, you can really see he's eager to get out there. He's moving the ball a little bit better. The offense is becoming a little less stagnant. There are still moments where we are perplexingly stagnant in how we move around. And I just, I think we're going to see a lot of that change as we move on, but it's okay. You can keep doubting us. We'll be here when we prove you wrong. That's fine.
The last thing I want to say, I promise. Look, there's things we have to talk about. The most important thing is there was a game. Marco Fabian in 3 games has himself 3 goals and 4 assists. That's 7 points. He's leading the team in points per game at 2.3. It's safe to say that he's making a pretty quick transition from Andorra, which is where he was most recently, to being in Southern California. And we got to give props and praise to that, and obviously mention, because we brought him in for a reason, and he's starting to produce quite well for us as well.
Well, speaking of transitioning out, why don't we transition out of this game and into a quick statement from the voice of the Inland Empire, Mr. Christian Philly Philemon, about our friends at Omnitrans.
Ah, yes. Omnitrans, and thank you very much, is the proud sponsor of Striking Fury and your ride to the Strikers games and everywhere else you want to go in San Bernardino County. Omnitrans is now hiring bus operators, mechanics, and vehicle service workers. Earn great wages, get up to $1,000 sign-on bonus, and enjoy great benefits including medical, dental, and tuition reimbursement. Working for Omnitrans is more than just a job, it's a career. Visit omnitrans.org/mycareer and apply today.
That's a /, dear.
That's what I meant.
You'll figure it out. But yes, again, you guys, that would be a fantastic job with great benefits. And again, I was going to segue this by saying, we got Marco Fabian, who was used to outdoor, and then we've got Hansen, who is playing with the Portland Timbers. And at the end of the day, they are just professional athletes that are good at their jobs. And who else is good at their jobs? Omnitrans.
Oh, all right. I like that. Well played. I've already hit the applause button enough.
I know. No.
We'll give you something magical.
I'm working on my segues, y'all. So either way, like you said, if you need a job, visit that website. I'm fantastic to always work for your city. And hey, do you need a new job, Billy? You can visit the website if you need to.
All right. Now that's / not backslash.
You know who doesn't? You know who does not need a new job? Chris Toth.
Ah.
You know why? Because he's the all-time leader in saves in the MASL. He just passed Danny Waltman. And we just want to say a big, huge congratulations to him. I know you both have something that you guys want to say about the amazing Chris Toth, because he's not only a fantastic keeper, but he's just a fantastic human being anyways. I always love talking to him. He's just so kind and so humble, and I'm just so proud of him.
Chris Toth is a legend now in statistical stature, as he has always been in performance stature. He is a legend. I mean, on the beach, off the boards, it doesn't matter. Chris Toth is going to be a phenomenal goalie. And of course, a hat tip to the man who he passed to become the all-time save leader, and that of the Rapunzelian greatness of one Danny the Wall Waltman. So a nod to Danny as his record gets broken. And I'm sure, Danny would agree. It couldn't be by a better man. Congratulations, Chris.
I got to correct you. He's not going to be a great keeper. He already is a great keeper. Chris, I know you're going to listen to this. At least you and Nick are. Another beloved for you guys. And congrats on breaking the record. Danny, we called you out during the broadcast. If this doesn't get your competitive juices all fired up, I don't know what will. Reimer needs another autograph on his Danny Waltman bobblehead, so we better see you soon, buddy.
Nope. Already got one. Right there.
Oh, and by the way, shout out to our buddy Gio from Goals and Boards. If you are a fan of Major Arena Soccer League and want to get to know more about the teams, we obviously represent the Empire Strikers. Gio and Brad, who was in the chat earlier, do Goals and Boards, and they cover the entire league. So many great podcasts. Keeper's Corner, obviously Soccer's Overtime. So make sure you get out there and support our fellow brethren in this MASL pod fam.
Yeah, and if you habla the Espanol, Gio's been doing some work covering the world of indoor, both north and south of the border, in Espanol as well, too. So it's great to see some Spanish language content. I think that's a fantastic segue. Spanish language content, Panda.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, first, this league is full of legends, whether it's, behind the microphone or, on the turf or in between the pipes. No matter where you look, you're going to be surrounded by legends. And you know what? I think the MASL is about to add to that legendary status. We had pretty much a blockbuster report today by the one and the only Kevin Baxter of the LA Times. Who wants to go ahead? I don't want to say break this news because he broke the news, but who wants to be the one to deliver this? Anybody? Okay. Should it be me? Jeez. All right,
Panda.
fine. You know what? I'll let you do it, Doctor.
Well, she sets you up.
Go for it.
Per the reporting of the Los Angeles Times' official soccer writer, Kevin Baxter. That is the only source that has confirmed this as of right now. So we might be getting the cart out before the horse here. But when Kevin Baxter's tweeting about the Empire Strikers, we got to talk about it, especially because, according to him, Empire is on the verge of signing none other than Poncho Miguel Angel Ponce. If you are not familiar with him, he is a former teammate on El Tri, the Mexican national team, with one Marco Fabian. This guy made 242 appearances over 12 years for Chivas de Guadalajara, including 60 appearances for Toluca and Necaxa as well, too, in the Liga MX. That is a whole ton of games at the most senior level south of the border there. Not to mention 12 appearances for El Tri with the Mexican national team. He was present and in the squad for the team that won the gold medal match in the 2012 London Games versus a team you might have heard of, Brazil. He also was in the squad for the 2011 gold medal Pan American Games versus Argentina as well too. This guy has been on the pitch and won medals versus Argentina and Brazil. He is now going to be in Toyota Arena kicking a ball around for the Empire Strikers. This is freaking awesome. Not only is this awesome,
allegedly.
He was born in Sacramento, California, so no visa issues, despite the fact that he moved to Mexico before his first birthday and lived in Guadalajara and Tijuana for most of his life. He is born in the United States, so there will be no visa issues. He has played left back throughout the course of his entire career, so we'll see how that fits in with the Empire Strikers. But the news on the horizon, a gold medalist, a World Cup game player, is going to be on the turf for Empire alongside Marco Fabian. Holy smokes, guys.
As DJ Khaled once said, or always says, another one.
Yeah, he did not say that just once.
No, he didn't just say it once. No, Doctor and I actually got to meet him the other day against Tacoma. He was in attendance. So Kevin Baxter said it again. Allegedly, it's happening. Keep an eye out on that. We don't know anything more than that, allegedly. So that's what we're going to stay and what we're going to stick with. And this is a prime example of to the power of bringing in somebody like Marco Fabian, because now he's going to tell his teammates. And there's other players that have graced the roster of Chivas de Guadalajara that are in Los Angeles as we speak, playing for big MLS clubs. I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there in the atmosphere. Carlos Vela, I know you and your family love Los Angeles. Maybe when your time in MLS is done, you come hang out with the Dr. Panda and I and everybody down at Empire. Just saying. Obviously, that is a pipe dream, but the fact that we have Marco Fabian opens these doors.
Get all the former Mexican national team players here. Chicharito, Charlie Candles. Let's get all of it. I'm great. Let's go. Let's just put El Tri out there. I'm fine with it.
I'm all good with it. Dale Chivas, like whatever. I don't care. You know, like nobody's going to be able to call LAFC Chivas anymore.
It's going to be the Strikers.
And I don't care. Bring everybody. Let's get cheeks and seats and let's start to turn this ship around.
Vamos, yes. Empire de Guadalajara. They said there was going to be a new team in Guadalajara this year. What you didn't know is that we were actually just bringing that team to Empire. That's
Ontario.
We are the Tequileros.
Oh, man. Oh, shouts to Suddy in the chat. Gio, Suddy, Brad, man, some MASL.
Councilman Carlos Garcia. This is the most we've ever had on one of these random night. And this isn't going to be random. We're going to try to be consistent with this, although next Wednesday might be tough because we're at the coaches convention. We'll figure it out.
We always have something going on. That's the problem. We do want to be consistent, but unfortunately, this is not the only thing that we have going on for us in our lives, unfortunately. But
it should be.
You know what we do have? You know what we do have going on in our lives, guys?
A game?
We have Strikers games, and we so happen to have one that is coming up fast approaching as this week scurries along, and it is going to be on Saturday at 5 p.m. against the Dallas Sidekicks. And if there was ever a must-win game, I think it's going to be that one, guys.
Look, Dallas is another team that's 1-5. Their one just happens to be an overtime win. So by statistical anomaly, they are technically in sixth last place, with us technically above them. But these are two 1-5 teams going at it. And when you look at this roster, I mean, really, it's Blas Perez's 9 points and Jamie Lovegrove's 6 points that are leading the team here. You've got Vic Moraligwe. You've got Gustavo Piedra, who's been killing it this year. And, of course, they've got Superman himself, Nestor Hernandez as well, too. Look, they have a fantastic power play. But aside from that, like, this is a team we should be beating. And I know Empire, there's a lot of pieces right now. Who's playing, who's where, what's going on. But this is the type of game where we need to figure it out. Because if we can't walk out of this game with some points, it's looking really difficult to find your way into the postseason if you're dropping points versus Dallas.
You're not wrong. I mean, the goals for isn't that much different. I mean, there's a lot of similarities in this team. Blas Perez, obviously, tremendous club career, over 500 games in his career, over 232 goals in his lifetime. And then if you go down to his international stats, the Panamanian bomber himself, 122 caps with Panama, 42 goals. I mean, here's a guy who can really like murder people, like literally murder people out on the turf. He did so in the outdoor world, and he is an offensive threat. We never got a chance to see him last season. He didn't make the trip up to Toyota Arena. And we have had some good outings against the Dallas Sidekicks, and they got great players. You alluded to a couple of them already. Jamie Lovegrove, Jamie the Gent. I mean, the guy's class act. Now, obviously, we miss Nestor, but if we can't – look, winning on the road is going to be hard. But if we can't pull out a competitive effort against the Dallas Sidekicks, we really have to ask ourselves or pretty much write the season off in one of those ways that, look, there's going to be W's that are going to come, but the idea of playoffs – it's gonna go out the window. Like, this is a must win for us, but even more so, it's a must win for them too. They're thinking the same thing we're thinking. We need to win in order to turn this around and have a shot at the playoffs. So get two wounded animals battling each other in a fight to the death. That's what you're going to get in this game. So it's going to be very compelling along those lines, and it'd be interesting to see what team Empire brings down to Allen, Texas. I wish we were going, quite honestly.
I would love to make the trip down there, get some barbecue, watch.
Where'd you go there, buddy?
Yeah, what happened? Did you have a brain fart or something?
I think I muted myself.
Did you mute yourself for a reason, Doctor? Was there something going on we shouldn't hear?
The cats were kind of going at it, and so I was just trying to save you all from.
Our cats are going at it too. The reason Panda, if you're watching this, the reason Panda stood up, I swear the cats knocked over the Christmas tree.
The Christmas tree.
Yeah, I heard it. Something.
You heard it? All right. Well, that was the gremlins. Gremlining.
I don't know what it was. That's the problem. I go in there and the tree is just sitting there, so nice and still up and perky, and the cats are just laying there like what? Like, so I don't know what's going on in there. There's a ghost happening, but yeah. Anyways, please continue about Dallas.
I think this is a game that the rest of the league is going to be watching, but probably for the wrong reason. What if one team loses handily in this game? I think they kind of have to become sellers, right? And at that point, I mean, teams are probably not looking to add, they're looking to subtract, right? Maybe not in Empire's case, given the build that they're looking and the long-term nature of that build. But certainly in the case of Dallas, right? And you look at Lovegrove, Eligwe, Piedra. I know Vic Moore just re-signed down there, but the chance that some of these guys get loaned out for the rest of the season or the opportunity to go play for a team that's competing, that picture could start to be painted coming up this weekend. So this is a big game. There's a lot of ramifications, not just in the standings for the team that wins, but in the potential for the team that loses as well, too. This is a big, big game. And we come right out of it into a massive home game as well.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we take on Dallas, like we said, Saturday at 5 p.m. there like you said, in Texas. And then we turn right back around. And on Tuesday at 7 p.m., we got to take on the Texas Outlaws. And boy, are they going to be a tough battle. They have been putting up some electric numbers. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and go over these. Christian, what are your first thoughts on that?
Well, real quick, that's obviously going to be a welcome back to players such as George De Leon and Emmanuel Aguirre, who once played here for the former Ontario Fury. So they're going to be coming back with a vengeance. But this is a team that showed what? Uzi? I'm getting to him. He's part of my narrative. He's part of my narrative.
Well, I'm just saying.
I don't think I forgot about Uzi. Man's named after a weapon. And he's been playing like a weapon. He's part of my narrative.
I'm just saying. I mean,
MMOU. That's the acronym for what we're about to endure. Morales, Mendez, Ortiz, Uzi, or maybe it could be MMOT for Tayu, whatever. But these are outstanding players. Like the three that I mentioned, Morales, Mendez, and Ortiz, and Doctor, you're going to go through their stats momentarily. These are three of the best young prospects. I can't even call them prospects anymore. They're already league veterans, having played last season under the legendary Tattoo. And hell, their careers started even before that. I remember Ortiz when he was a rookie coming to Toyota Arena during that 2021 season. And I will never forget him coming up to me saying, hey, when am I going to be on MASL Insider? At that point, I didn't know who he was. We obviously knew now who the villain is. And such a talented young team with players that represented the United States on the national side in terms of like futsal and stuff like that. These are highly talented, highly motivated players. And Uzi Tayu, league leader in terms of blocked shots. So he's also become a huge weapon for this team. And their goalkeeping also very sensational. Doctor, I'll let you go into the stats for that.
Oh, look, this is a formidable team. At the onset of the season, almost all the talking heads across the league had the two Texas teams at the bottom of the West, right? The performance that the Texas Panda, you almost did it in the intro, and I'm praying we don't do this 15 times on the broadcast. Call them the Mad Texas. But
it's going to be automatic push-ups during the broadcast. I don't even care.
Sorry.
They're just still going to be the bad boys of barbecue, and I'll leave it at that. But
the stars at night are big, deep in the heart of Texas.
Why are we praising them?
It's just a fun thing to sing.
I
thank Lucy's Big Adventure for
I know
that.
we have smog in LA, but come on.
Here's
right here. Go ahead.
Morales, Mendez, Ortiz. Morales, Ortiz, Mendez. Mom. No, look, the combination of those three players have combined for 47 points so far this season. 47. The entire Empire Strikers roster has combined for 43 points this season. If you look at the entire rest of their roster combined, it's not just those three guys because there's 41 points left on their roster. Think about that. 47 points, three guys at the top. The entire Strikers, 43. The rest of their roster after those 47 points is still good for another 41. Holy smokes, this team is good.
So you take out their three top players and you still have a team that can literally compete with most other teams out there. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. I mean, and they're certainly not going to take their three best players out when they come into Toyota Arena. This is a tough challenge.
Yeah, I have to smack myself. I forgot a player that's also having a really good season in Mesquite. Andy Reyes has been a long reigning member of the Ontario Fury. So, Andy, I apologize for not mentioning you. Several former Ontario Fury players will be back at Toyota Arena for, I guess, their revenge game. And yeah, Jesus, and Vinny Dantas. Look, we could go down the list, but obviously this isn't like a Mesquite. We're not really trying to get this entire preview thing because we can speak their praises all. But yeah, I forgot even the likes of Vinny Dantas is doing this thing. I mean,
there's just so many names out there that we could keep mentioning that are putting
an all-star team at the end of the day who's going to make a great run at postseason and heck, maybe even a great run to the conference finals. Well coached by a phenomenal former indoor player, and they've got such tremendous poise and talent. I mean, I could talk about Mesquite all day long, how exciting they are. I wish we had some of their players. I mean, we did, but some of the other ones too.
No doubt. I mean, again, Dallas must win. We have to do that. And obviously, a win against the Texas Outlaws would be a huge statement win. That's going to be at home. And we are desperate for a win at home. We really need to make Toyota Arena a place where people fear to come and play. And I hope that we're able to give them that. Is there anything that you guys want to add to anything that we've said so far?
Look, I would just say, keep the faith, Strikers fans. It's going to take a while for a new coach and new players and all this stuff to figure out. But we've seen what 6 or 7 games at the end of the season can do to a really good team. Maybe this is the year we see what 6 or 7 games at the end of the season do to a team that finally puts the pieces together. And this is truly the inverse of what we have seen play out over the course of the last 2 seasons. Either way, it's going to be a lot of fun when you potentially have a Miguel Angel Ponce, right? If Pocho shows up, this could get real interesting.
Allegedly.
Marco Fabian out there. Look, allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. No, that's it. Other than Happy New Year's, everyone. Look, new shoe, new luck. It's the year of the dragon. We're coming for it. Fire breathing.
That's right. It is the year of the dragon. And fun fact, I looked this up the other day. What my Chinese, I am a metal rooster. I just want you guys to know that.
I'm a monkey.
You're a metal monkey.
A metal monkey?
Yeah, I don't know. We were looking these up at work, and I just thought it was hilarious when it said metal rooster, and I'm like, I'm a kick butt rooster.
Now I'm gonna have to figure out what the characteristics of the metal rooster are, just see how on point they are with you.
It doesn't
Can't
matter.
call, can't call her panda anymore. Then
I'm a boar.
You're the pig.
No,
Yeah,
I mean, in like,
You're the
we
pig?
mean the year of the whatever.
Yeah, the pig.
Yes, the year of the
He's
boar.
not a
I'm
boar.
Not
Oh
I'm
my
just-
god, that's so rude.
I was just making a funny.
No, I mean
Real
I
quick.
set you up for that. I really did.
Real quick, my cutest little friend that I have in the world, Casey.
Oh, all right.
My cutest friend in the world, Casey. She's a wood pig. So
I
like,
just thought they were
I just
named
thought it
after
was
animals.
hilarious.
I didn't know there was like metal.
yeah.
Well, no, there are earth. You have like earth, like fire, water, metal.
Isn't that a band? Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Anyways, I don't think anybody cares at this point. I'm so surprised that we have almost, because I see what you're doing here, we have almost ended this podcast under an hour, giving all the information that we have covered. What do you want to say, Philly? Because you never say enough.
Well, first off, shout out to Cowboy, who's joining us in the chat, the legendary Sockers fan.
What up,
Always
Carol?
happy to see you out there. We love seeing you in person at the games always. And thank you for showing up.
Yep, and thank you for your friendship. Hopefully we could add some pins to the hat. It broke my heart when he lost his a legendary hat the last time we were in San Diego. Real quick, just to kind of piggyback off what the doctor said, the same way many of y'all fell in love with the likes of the Nestor Hernandezes and all those players that were a long part of this organization, give these new guys an opportunity to earn your love and respect as well, because this is a really good group of kids that we have on our side. We got a couple of veterans, obviously. You got Izzy Cisse, who's been the longest reigning member of the team and staff. Support him. And then obviously we got Justin Stinson. We got league veterans such as Stefan. And obviously, for those of you that are new to this, Marco and Pocho are going to be a reason to come through as well. But, there's other players on this team that should be given the opportunity to earn your love, trust, and respect. And I know they're going to do it. I know that for a fact because they quickly earned ours. So in order for that to happen, we need to see you at Toyota Arena. Let's fill that sucker up. This is the team for your indoor empire. It's the only turf team there. And we are a part of something that we're all trying to grow together, which is indoor soccer and the Major Arena Soccer League. So come out, support these boys, and have some fun while you're at it. I guarantee you a good time, or doctor will pay for your ticket.
Fact.
Yeah.
All right. I don't have a whole lot else to say. I think it was actually pretty good. You guys did a great job, and I hope that we can do this more consistently. And I hope we can see you guys out at some games here soon. I know we've got some good weekend games. Hopefully you can make it out. My mom is actually going to be coming out to the game on I think it's February 4th. I think who do we play?
Monterey.
Yeah, we play Monterey, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And obviously, if you make your way out there, try to use some public transportation. Like we said, we are sponsored by Omnitrans, and you know what? I think we just need to reiterate there. If anybody out there is looking for a job, it's a great place to work. Reimer, do you have any thoughts on that?
I would just like to say Happy New Year to everyone. And if you're looking to get yourself to a game, why, we have a sponsor that would love to help you get to the game. And like Panda mentioned, Omnitrans is the proud sponsor of Striking Fury and your ride to the Strikers games and everywhere else you want to go in San Bernardino County. Omnitrans is now hiring bus operators, mechanics, and vehicle service workers. Earn wages, get up to $1,000 in sign-on bonus, and enjoy great benefits, including medical, dental, and tuition reimbursements. Visit Omnitrans and learn that it is more than just a job at omnitrans.org/mycareer. Apply today.
I love that so much. Again, public transportation, definitely try to use it if you have the opportunity. It's so great. We know how traffic here in LA is terrible. There are some days when we are coming out to Toyota Arena and it's a lovely 45-minute drive, which is great for us because we do live kind of far. There are Friday afternoons that will literally suck the life out of you trying to drive out there. It will take 2.5+ hours to make that same exact drive. So if you have the chance to just get on some public transportation, grab a good book, put in a good podcast, zone out, and just close your eyes for a moment if you want to. Come on out, join us, do it via Omnitrans, download the app, of course, and we hope to see you guys all at the next Strikers home game, which will be on Tuesday, January 9th. I can't believe it's already 2024, you guys. First podcast done in the new year. Fantastic. And again, new year, new me, new year, new team. I think let's go. Are you guys ready?
Time to hear some Trevor.
Vamos.
You know what that means, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We love seeing you guys in the chat. If you weren't in it this time, next time, put on those notifications, like, subscribe, do all the things you need to do to make sure that you are in this chat with us because, we're all friends here. But at the end of the day, we only have one thing left to say, and that is what?
Strike hard.
Rise with fury?
No mercy. Oh, he didn't like that.
Bye, guys. Oh, where'd it go? Can you hear it? Oh, I muted it.